Training sessions are available with Joe on relationship, professional and social etiquette, including elocution and diction. For corporate organization or personal teaching, send a mail to the email address displayed on the screen now. And don't forget to tap subscribe to Let's Face It with Joe on the YouTube page.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Face It with Joe, where real people share genuine social and relationship concerns. Thanks for joining me. You know the umbilical cord should have been severed off at birth. Then you realize it never was, because the bond between mother and child is unbelievably strong. Then before you make any decision in your home, your husband needs to consult who? His mom. Like someone consulting an oracle. You begin to question whether the maturity stage has altered or if it never existed in the first place. A mommy's boy, also known as mother's boy or mama's boy, is a man who is excessively attached to his mother at an age and stage when he's expected to stand independently, live on his own, be economically independent, engaged or even married. The function and decision making of the home is meant to be dependent by the couple alone unless they agree together to reach out externally. And even then, the final decision must be theirs and theirs alone. So what are the things that mommy's boys takes back to mama? When the son or the mother convinces the other that they married the wrong person, no matter how good the wife is, she will never be good enough for the two of them. Her life will be hell on earth. Housekeeping issues often bring disagreements, particularly when the son appears to be doing everything. Note, I said appears to. In the first 5 years of marriage and throughout marriage, if possible, couples should try and avoid family coming to stay with them long term, as this reduces unnecessary interference. Now, that doesn't mean you don't assist external family matters, but what it does mean is that your home is private. If a couple allows external interference, this is what might happen. They will notice if the wife is a good cook or not, and the disparity with earnings and spending. They will identify what causes a lack of communication or fights between the two of you. And if you have children, they may want to use them as a tool for more information to fuel your differences. Infertility in marriage, particularly in Africa, is a huge problem that can attack any marriage. I know because I was married for 5 years before I had my first baby. I was fine because I had a husband who never allowed interference from anyone. However, when married to a mommy's boy, it can never be his fault. It's only the wife who is responsible for not bearing children. The mother may then encourage her son to look for another wife. Yes, I said another wife who can bear children for them. Hear this: wrong move. Sex is a very important segment in marriage, and without it, the marriage begins to break down. When a couple have family staying with them, often the woman is not free to express pleasure and may desist from sexual activity. This is where the mommy's boy reports the lack of sex to his first wife, his mother. Unfortunately, when a man is not bold enough to handle the affairs of the home, it can cause marital conflicts. Oftentimes, men have grown up being very close to their mothers. This can occur for numerous reasons, but more consistently when a boy is the only son in the family, the provider, or he's the most successful or the most loving out of all the children. In the African setting, there are cases whereby a man has to take consent from his mother at the expense of his wife, and this can lead to so much trouble in the home.
The mother is important in the relationship. We need the advices of our parents, but there is a limit to what we allow. And so how do we deal with mommy's boy, so-called, or mommy's rapper? Now, number one thing our advice is that we should accept them, accept her as our own person. That's the first thing we need to do, because she was there. She raised the man, did all she could for you to be able to accept the man as your husband. So we need to accept her as who she is, as you will accept your own mother. Number two, we need to do is that there must be communication, because communication is the bedrock of every relationship. So there is communication between both partners. Even before you get into marriage, you must communicate. You must set boundaries for members of the family, your mother-in-law, set boundaries of what they can do, what they cannot do. Both of you must have that agreement. Nevertheless, you should not threaten the man as the mommy's boy and push him to choose between you or his mom. He's going to become defensive, and there is not going to augur well for you in that marriage. Another thing we need to do is to have patience, because we are all wired differently. We come from different backgrounds. So once we are able to have patience, there is going to be kind of a settlement between both ladies that love one man. And also, I would like to say that befriend her. Befriend her. I mean, it will take a while, but when you befriend her, things are going to work out.
Let's now check to see if really he is a mommy's boy. He waits for his mother's decision before he takes action. He always takes his mother's side and not yours. He'll call her every single day. He reports his diary activities. He's going to Abuja tomorrow, so he's got to tell his mother before he tells you. He always says, "My mommy said." There's nothing wrong with loving your mother, but when you get married, you cleave with your wife and you become one. It might seem like you both married his mother and you have to deal with it for the rest of your life. Or you try this. Set boundaries in your home. Some may be harsh but necessary to overcome that problem. Try to befriend your mother-in-law, because some may feel insecure and scared that the boy they once raised and loved beyond life itself left them for someone else. This creates a vacuum, so one needs to make her feel secure by taking her as your own mother. Call to check up on her from time to time. Buy her gifts. After all, she should be gaining a daughter and not losing a son. Show some empathy and understand that all parents are different, and communicate more with the husband. Don't fight him. And my advice is, wife, be patient. It doesn't make you look stupid, but a clear sign of maturity when you take care of your mother-in-law. Okay, I have a question for you. Would you rather watch your home fall apart like a pack of cards, or watch it stand like a Statue of Liberty? The choice is yours to make. You need to constantly realize that two's company and three's a crowd. When a third party is involved in your lives, the only thing that can emanate from this is chaos. Every family should have its own DNA. Create yours and don't allow anyone else to tarnish it. Remember, it takes two to tango and three to make a soap opera. Well, you don't want no drama in your relationship, huh? So do the needful. It's been great having you here with us today. For more, log on to the social media platforms displayed on the screen. Thanks, and join me again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.